The mission of a local nonprofit is to provide leadership, direction, and integrated resource management for quality services that support their vision of success for children. Coming up on Polk Place, we'll talk with one of their administrators. Make sure you stick around. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio is Kenneth Franklin. He is the Vice President of Operations for Early Learning Coalition of Polk County. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, first time here. A little bit nervous?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad, but it's first time here for sure.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about what you do for Early Learning Coalition.
So I am the VP of Operations for the Early Learning Coalition. So kind of do a little bit of everything, whether it be insurance, contracting, IT, marketing, all those different things kind of wrapped up into one position, building leases, that kind of thing. So that's kind of my role within the organization.
Talk to me a little bit about the role that COVID has played over the past year. It's kind of wreaked havoc on all of us. Talk to me a little bit from an administrative standpoint, what it's done to you and how it's changed how you guys do business.
Yeah, so March of 2020 threw us a curveball, and we knew that we'd need to go out of the office for a couple weeks, and turned out to be the longest 2 weeks of my life. We were out of the office for an entire year. So we went out in March of 2020. We did come back into the office March of 2021. So it was a big transition, trying to figure out how do we do this from home, how do we work, how do we maintain our relationships, how do we maintain our contracts, things like that. So the first thing that kind of went through my mind was how do we do that from an IT perspective. So we had to resource all of our staff, resource our team to be able to support our providers, to support our families, to support those that require services. So it was a big undertaking to be able to do that. It actually went really well. Looking back in hindsight, I think we did a pretty good job of being able to get our staff out there and have them work from home and do that over the course of that year.
From a parent standpoint, talk to me a little bit about how you feel about the job that the centers did in making sure that business could go on as usual.
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about our community heroes, our child care workers, family child care homes, centers, those directors, those workers, those teachers that are in those sites are some of our top line community heroes. Without them this past year, it would have been extremely difficult. From a parent's perspective, my child care where my two children go, they actually closed down for a short period of time. I felt like that was the longest 4 months of my life, trying to work from home while watching kids at the same time. It gave me a much deeper level of appreciation for someone I already had, or for a group of people that I already had a high level of appreciation for. So, being able to watch our kids and give them high quality education, from that youngest age is absolutely imperative. And a lot of our child care centers had to make a lot of sacrifices, and some of them did have to shut down for a short period of time. A lot of them remained open, so so that the families could go to work. One of the biggest things we had was the nurses and doctors and things like that, and police force and firefighters, all of those types of positions were so stressed during that year. They needed childcare more than ever. And so fortunately, through a program that came down from the Office of Early Learning through the Early Learning Coalition, we were able to provide child care assistance for those groups of individuals as well. First responders, healthcare workers, those we were able to provide that. So that actually increased our workload. But looking at it from a parent's perspective, those individuals that worked and were able to provide those services, so that those first responders and those types of folks could work and know that their kids were safe and enjoying that high quality education throughout the day. I mean, that takes a load off while they're trying to, keep the country moving and keep people safe and treat people that did have COVID. They could know that their kids were safe during that time as well. So,
well, as an administrator for Early Learning Coalition and being a parent yourself, I want you to tell me about stories about, maybe being a parent in your journey so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have two kids. I have Claire, who is 5, and she is a recent VPK graduate. She just finished, and I have a 1-year-old, Carter. He's getting all around and running around and talking about daddy and trucks and mama and all those good things now. But for Claire, she's been in that where she's been for the past 5 years now. And some of the things, it's just fascinating to me, the things that she's learning in VPK. I mean, and you look at the other night we're putting her down for bedtime and say her prayers and do that, and she's like, "Daddy, I think let's see how high I can count." And I said, "Let's do it, baby." And so she starts counting, and at 120, we're still sitting there. So, it's crazy that a 5-year-old can count to 120, but not only just, those types of things, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s. A lot of it's about the social skills that they learn.
Exactly.
Being able to regulate themselves socially, emotionally, those types of things, within that classroom setting. So the things that she's got there and the ability for her to see someone that's sad and to know, hey, I need to go comfort them, or hey, I need to go see if I can help. I mean, just this morning, dropping her off, there was another family that was there, and her little girl, the little girl that was there, she was a year younger than Claire, but she just moved up into Claire's class. She saw that she was having a hard time she didn't want to leave her mom that morning. So literally, I gave Claire a hug. She walked over there to this little girl and just started patting her on her back and said, "You can come with me. You can come with me. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay." And the mom and I were looking at each other like, "My gosh, this is crazy that a 5-year-old is that in tune to someone's emotions and that connection that they have already." So sometimes I look at myself and think I need to be more like that. But it's been fascinating. Working in early child care, through the Early Learning Coalition, and now having kids myself and being able to not only see it from what I do during the day, but then I come home and I see it, I live it out. It's special.
We've got just a little bit of time left. Do you have any advice for new parents out there?
New parents, if you're going to be looking for childcare, start early. Waiting lists are the norm these days. So make sure you get your child on a list if you're looking for childcare. And I would just say be present. I think that's something I have to remind myself each and every day, is to be present. And I look back and the past 5 years that I've had Claire, and even the past year and a half that Carter's been around, it's just gone by in such a flash. And I know that the years to come will do the same. So if there's one thing I can say is be present and don't ever pass up an opportunity to love on them.
Yeah, hold on to it quick, because one day you wake up and they're like 30 years old.
That's what I've heard.
Well, Kenneth, you did a great job. Thanks for coming in, and hopefully we'll get to see you again soon, all right?
All right, thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
The Early Learning Coalition of Polk County wants you to know that the quality of early education and care significantly influences academic and social development. As the coalition continues to serve the children and the families of Polk County, the next generation is given the opportunity to develop the skills they will need to be successful in the future. Now, if you need more information, you can give them a call at 863-733-9064 or look them up on the web at www.elcpolk.org.